The Big 12 Experience Week 1 Preview and Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to score up to $1,000 bonus in cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we are also brought to you by Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. And welcome, everybody, into the Big 12 College Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Thursday, the 29th of August, we have made it. Preseason preview season is finally over. We're going to talk some games. We got all the Big 12 teams in action, so we will pick 16 games here on the show. A lot of spreads, lofty spreads. Couple teams got big games. We'll talk about it. But first off, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. And we're talking Big 12. So first up, you guys know him as a walking contradiction on this channel because he was born in Provo, Utah. He's got family names, Iowa. He lives in Morgantown, West Virginia. Co-host of the Ryan and Rush Show, Rambling Rush. Rush, we made it.
We did make it. We might need, now that we're officially here with games, this new Big 12, might need to add my dad was raised in Arizona to cover the Arizona schools. Now we're between me, I guess all three of us, we're all over the Big 12, but everyone we made it. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back, round of applause. Those, when it's like June 17th and you're like, you know what? I could really use like a Boise State, Montana game right now. We did it. We're here. So
how about a Rutgers and Howard game? It starts here in 35 minutes, so I can use a little Rutgers in my life. No Rutgers in the Big 12, but we got 4 teams in action here tonight. But first up, a guy that's fighting a family civil war, whether it's in Stillwater, Waco, Fort Worth, Orlando. Bounce House is in action tonight, or in Cincinnati. He is the Big 12 guru, the green mowing, weed growing Troy Chewning. Welcome aboard, my man.
What's going on? I'm over here trying to make sure we have the underdog entry for the evening because
bingo.
I'm trying to fire away on a Thursday only, a Saturday one. We might put it up on Twitter. We might even do like a Florida State one, Castellanos from BC on Monday because that's a Monday game. We're gonna be firing away a bunch. So it's time. We made it, and it's time to start throwing that money around.
Absolutely, it is time. Make sure you use our promo code right above my head, in case you forgot, TCESGPN. But guys, any quick storylines before we get into it? West Virginia has the big opportunity here in the Big 12 to move the needle. Couple other trap games. I mean, Oklahoma State, they got to be careful here. Colorado's got to be careful here. Rush, any other games you're really looking at?
North Dakota, Iowa State. I think Iowa State will be okay with it, but I could see him playing very conservative, keeping the playbook simple. And I really like, we'll talk later in this episode when we do but the Dakotas, man, they feel good week 1. I'm not going to lie. UNLV Houston, I believe, is the smallest spread of the Big 12. Obviously the Fritz era begins. We'll get to that game when we get to that game, but that one is definitely got to watch out a little bit. And I'll even throw out Baylor against Tarleton State. Tarleton State last week was up by a lot, and then they weren't. We saw what happened last year with Baylor and Texas State. So I think Baylor, we'll talk spread here, of course, but in terms of the overall game, I think Baylor should be fine. But it's kind of like you're at the beach, right? And they throw like that yellow flag up and you're like, well, you can go in the waves, you can have fun, but, still be a little bit careful. That's how I'm feeling about Baylor in this game. But hey, even though it's week 1, most of these teams will win pretty big. There's still some great week 1 games.
Troy, what are you looking at here this weekend? I mean, any matchups that popped your eye? Any scares for the Big 12?
Well, I mean, we were kind of talking about how the quarterback play in this conference is pretty good when you get to the top, 6 or 7 guys. There's a few that are, a step ahead. But that San Diego State matchup against Oklahoma State is one of the quarterbacks that we talk about that's not that
South
great.
Dakota.
Or South Dakota. I keep
Oh, we're screwed.
Right.
You're screwed now.
Oh man, I wasn't gonna pick Oklahoma State either. Just a little preview on that one. Gronowski, the quarterback at South Dakota State, is probably miles better than Alan Bowman. So there's a chance, you get one of those nothing to lose, everything to gain positions in I guess he's a 3-time champion, but he got hurt in one of the years. But back-to-back FCS champion quarterback coming back. Scary. I think tonight you see a bunch of not necessarily successful Heisman candidacies, but you see a lot of show-off games this evening with the start of a few hype trains that, most of them do come crashing down, but it's like that one year Geno Smith through 6 or 7 weeks. We're thinking like, man, this guy's going to get unanimous first place votes for the Heisman Trophy. This is the greatest year of all time.
No doubt.
Those 7 weeks are fun though. I'm looking for some show-off games tonight from some of the QBs in this league.
It is a stat padding night, and if you want to stat your pats, first off, check out the college football experience, and the week 1 picks are here, so make sure you check it all out, baby. Make sure you check out the merch store as well, 10% off with the promo code SGP. Football's back, bigger, better than ever. All right, we are back on the Big 12 College Experience. Let's get into the games. First up, kick it off here in in about 90 minutes. Bounce house. We will go New Hampshire at UCF. UCF laying 38.5. It opened at 33.5. Remember this game last year? They played Kent State. They won 56-6. I'm not overthinking it. I'm laying the 38.5 with all these athletes down in Florida. Troy?
Yeah, I'm laying this big number. I think Gus Malzahn's going to see how fast he can get his offense going right away in the beginning of the year just for analytical purposes and whatnot. And I kind of see it working pretty well against New Hampshire tonight in the bounce house. Boobies out, baby.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ryan and Troy. I overthought this one. Well, I didn't overthink it. I just got cute last year with Kent State. You gotta learn from years past. I have no problem laying these points. I think KJ Jefferson's gonna want to go out and prove a point, and talk about what did you say, Ryan? Padding stats. Stat your pads.
Statting pads. Yeah, statting pads.
Is that what I said?
Yeah. No, that's why I was laughing. I'm like, oh, that's great.
I thought my connection was frozen. I was like, I'm going to just play it off and hopefully it comes back. So that's good that it wasn't my connection for once.
Yeah, no, it's just you, right? But no, I'm laying the points here. Not getting cute with this. And for a reminder, everyone, we got Mr. Kennedy back.
He's back.
For the new people, we got heads, tails. Heads is Roadhead. Comes first in the scoreboard. Tails is he likes to get tail from home. He was our horniest president. So Mr. Kennedy, though, is going to be taking the New Hampshire Wildcats at plus 38.5. So he's already off.
Damn, I thought Kennedy would have been all about. I thought Kennedy would have been all about that drugs and boobies down there in the bounce house.
I can respect it. I can respect that he's grinding, taking New Hampshire. Good for him.
He is a New Englander. I mean,
it's true.
This next game, it sucks. Lindenwood is going to Kansas. This game is at the what's the name of the complex? They're not playing at Arrowhead yet. They're playing
soccer.
Children's Mercy, whatever.
Yeah, Children's Mercy, whatever the fuck they're calling it. Lay it. Lay this number. Jalon Daniels, KJ. I meant to say this in the other one. KJ Jefferson. Stat pad stats, however the hell you say it. There's gonna be a lot of numbers. KU wins by 60.
Yeah, I'm also chalkily laying this one here. With KU favored, you can get 48.5. You can see 49 at some places. And the over under is already only gone from 59 to 62. I think you look at that over too. UCF might be able, or Kansas might be able to get that pretty close on their own.
This game's telling me 63-10, and Lyndon Wood maybe gets a garbage time touchdown at the end. Oh, Kennedy is sticking with these
the big dogs.
The big dogs, man. He's well, it is Lyndon Wood, right? Wood.
Yeah.
So. There's always an angle with
Kennedy,
Kennedy,
baby.
Yeah, there's always an angle.
So we have agreed. We are laying big chalk. Kennedy has disagreed. He's taking the points. All right. Southern Utah at Utah. Cam Rising's back. First game in the Big 12, I guess, conference non-con game. Utah's laying 40. This will be the one big one I take. Give me Southern Utah. I know Utah beat them 73-7 2 years ago, but they were coming off that loss against Florida. They're not coming off a loss here. They got Baylor on deck. I think they go through the motions and win by 35 or 38. So I'll take the T-Birds, the Thunder and Birds here in the state of Utah, little brother, to keep it within 6 touchdowns.
Would covering the spread be considered tragic magic for Southern Utah right now?
Yeah. I mean, that's the goal.
It's still close enough, right? First game since dealing with a ton of BS in that program. No, lay the 40 points with Utah.
I'm going to go Southern Utah here. Interstate matchup. I agree that I think Whittingham's just go through the motions, not open up the playbook too much, be real conservative with Cam Rising coming back. And yeah, I think Southern Utah is able to keep this within 40. And another angle too, I don't know if it's a big one or not, but a team like Utah looks at these other teams like Southern Utah as kind of a minor league for them too. So they want to maybe check out to see what they're up to, capable with, maybe with the transfer portal. So we'll see where that goes. Oh, Kennedy's sticking with the underdogs, man. I like it. I like it.
All right, so Troy, you're on the island there. You're riding with Cam Rising.
Someone needs to do the island.
Kennedy just wants to keep showing his face. He's not giving the tails. He's just showing, look at my beautiful, beautiful face pre ballistic hole.
Well, he's been cooped up. It's been a long off season for Kennedy. He wants to get on that road and
he wants to get warmed up. He's not trying to dive straight in. He's okay with some head right now.
All right, let's we enough on these shit games. The game of the night in college football and in the Big 12 is going to be the North Dakota State Bison going to Boulder. This game opened up at 7 over the summer. Colorado laying 10.5 now, so it's been steamed up. Year one of the Tim Pulisic era for the Bison, new coach, bunch of new faces. But if you kind of look at Pulisic's track record, he's a Craig Bull guy at North Dakota State. He was an Iowa guy. I think that they're able to bang with Colorado at the line of scrimmage. I think that they can run the football. I think that they can play bend but don't break defense. I'm going to take the points here. Dion last year as a big favorite, whether it was Stanford, did not cover, lost the game outright. They were a 2-touchdown favorite there. Arizona State, they're around a touchdown favorite, 5.5, 6 points. They won by field goal, didn't cover there. And then, of course, the Colorado State game, 24 points as a big favorite, didn't come close. Should have lost the game outright. So Nebraska on deck as well for what it's worth. That's a big rivalry. I would like to see Colorado get out of here live, and then I will gladly back them as a dog in Lincoln next weekend. Give me the points with the Bison.
I think Cam Miller can do a good enough job behind center to lose this game exactly by the hook at 10 points. The 10.5 has gotten to the crossed over the line for me. I don't think Colorado is going to get upset here, but I do think that, they get pushed a little bit and probably will do the same, turn around and back them when they're dogs. But I'm going to go ahead and take the points with North Dakota State here. I think they slow it down enough and kind of hang in there for a while.
This is easy. North Dakota State's staying in this game. And we'll get to our money line picks at the end, but this is in contention for me. I'm serious. I could absolutely see North Dakota State winning this game. I think there's a lot of questions still with Colorado. obviously now they have a chance to prove themselves. But I think right now, as everything sees fit, I think you have a disciplined, proven program versus a program that still has a lot of question marks. I know one's, an FCS school, and I know one's a Power 4 school. But to me, early in the season, when you've had all off season to prepare for a team like Colorado, I'm not scared. I'm definitely not scared to take points, but I'm not scared to sprinkle that money line with this North Dakota State team. And could you imagine the shambles Colorado would already be in after tonight, if that would happen? So we'll see. Kennedy's sticking on the road, man. I love it. North Dakota State.
So 4 in a row on the Bison. What could go wrong? Let's go. Live
Chat
dog
might be lively next week.
And they'll celebrate a North Dakota State win like it's a goddamn freaking Sugar Bowl win in there in Boulder. All right, Troy. Underdog Fantasy is a proud sponsor of the college experience. We've been teasing it out all August, preseason long. Troy, what do we got cooked up over there? What are you looking at? You looking to back these big-time quarterbacks in the Big 12?
I'm kind of focusing on this Colorado game. I saw some of Shedur's numbers were pretty high. And like I alluded to, I think North Dakota State's going to be able to slow this game down enough. So I went higher on Shedur, half a rush or reception TD. I think maybe he sneaks one in. Kind of scared of that like 308.5 passing yards number. I also went higher on Travis Hunter at 15.75 fantasy points, looking for a little bit of extra points from the defensive side. And then I'm going over to the UNC Minnesota game and going higher on Omarion Hampton, half a rush or reception TD. Still kind of scared. Want to see the offenses work a little bit before I get into the yardage numbers right away in the beginning of the year.
And then what'd you say Shedur's was for a rushing yard?
He's spicy on that one. I think it's not a yard. It's over a score.
Oh, over a score. Okay.
Altogether, it's 4.79.
4.79. Okay. Because I was a little worried about because his offensive lineman struggled to block for him. I could very well see him going negative again. But yeah. I like that. So we're back in Shedur, higher than a half touchdown, higher 15.5 fantasy points for Travis Hunter.
It's 15.25.
15.25. And then what was the final one for Minnesota?
And higher on UNC's Omarion Hampton.
Okay.
For a rush or reception. He's only 0.62. Okay.
So get on over there, stack them together, and you can win a bunch over there at Underdog Fantasy. And use our promo code right above our head, TCESGPN, to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. All right, let's move over. So those are the 4 games kicking off here this evening. Let's get on over there to Friday, where we have a standalone game, the late game, the Fox game, or I think it's FS1. TCU at Stanford, out on the farm on the West Coast. TCU's laying 9. Dude, everybody's on Stanford. TCU's going to blow them the fuck out. I'm telling you, TCU is – people have overreacted to TCU. Hoover, Sonny Dykes, this is going to be exactly like the game at Colorado 2 years ago. They blow it open big time in the second half. I think they win by 20. They got way better dudes, way more athletic, way faster. Give me TCU. Lay the number here at Stanford. Troy?
Yeah, I'm also laying this one on the road.
Is it a road game?
C9, TCU, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It could just be like an old Pee-wee football, like there's a few people standing around at the park, and that's your entire audience there. Yeah, I think TCU's just got another level of athleticism compared to Stanford. And again, I don't really like it when the public all jumps on someone before we've even seen a snap of football, because I just assume that everybody else is dumber than me. So laying the points here at TCU.
TJ, I see you in the chat. They do say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So shout out Kramer. I guess we look alike, apparently. I'm with you guys about TCU. I'll add one caveat. I think the first half might be a little close. I could see TCU rolling into this game a little shaky. Then at halftime, Sonny Dykes is being like, guys, what are we doing here? Like, come on. We're TCU. We were in the national championship 2 years ago. And then be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Like, we actually are a decent program, good team. And then coming out, like, I can see a 10-10 halftime and then TCU going out and getting 21. I like 31-10 in this game. I do like TCU a lot in this game. Tails. Uh-oh. Kennedy's
Another
going
dog?
to Fort Worth. Yeah, well.
People are saying
Stanford.
Kennedy. People are saying Kennedy.
Well, he's staying away from Fort Worth.
Oh, yeah. So he's taking 5 dogs. The coin, everybody. The coin. Kennedy is on it.
Staying far away from Fort Worth.
He knows to diversify your underdog bets. If you're taking dogs, take a bunch of them.
I'm interested to see where he goes here. Game of the weekend here in Morgantown. The big Fox Big Noon kickoff. This is the biggest game easily for the Big 12 this weekend. A chance to move the needle, a chance to win some tiebreakers here. Whether it's West Virginia or whatever team. If you're an Oklahoma State fan, you're a K-State fan, you're a Utah fan, you're rooting like hell for West Virginia here. Iowa State, Texas Tech, whatever fan base thinks that they can get to the playoff, you're rooting for West Virginia in this game. West Virginia's going to win the game outright. Penn State, it's going to be rainy, bad conditions. This is going to be Florida State, Georgia Tech all over again. A veteran offensive group that's able to control the line of scrimmage, slow down the tempo against a Penn State team. Yes, very talented, but you're on the road in college football. I think, and also you're getting the better quarterback as a dog at home. Give me Garrett Green all day. Morgantown's going to be on fire. The Mountaineers cover the 8.5, and they win it outright. Cheers, beers, go Ears. Troy?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the points here with West Virginia. I don't know if my conviction is as, Mountaineer biased as you guys are going to be here, but I totally believe that it's worth at least a sprinkle because I think, being in Morgantown, Penn State's been talking about how they have a better receiving core than they've had in the past. And of course, God, who is a hillbilly himself, is going to make sure that it rains. So Drew Aller can't look that good, and everyone's forced to play the game that Neil Brown really wants to play. I was looking at that, the over-unders at 51.5 in the rain. I think with these two teams, you could probably hammer that under.
Yeah, love the under in this game.
First to 24 is definitely winning this game, right?
I think so. I think Rush thinks so too. Rush, where are you going? I know where you're going, but
it's Troy. It's not biased when you know it's true. I called it back in January on the Ryan and Rush show when we previewed out this schedule. I got laughed at. West Virginia's winning this game. The conditions are perfect. It feels right. It feels meant to be. 24-21, West Virginia.
Let's go. Control the line of scrimmage.
Is sticking with the underdogs. There is JFK Park up the street here. Kennedy loves West Virginia. He said so himself.
Let's go, baby. Kennedy, his dogs are barking this year. He watched week 0. Now he's all fired up.
He liked muskets because rifles were accurate enough to take him down. The musket would have bounced around and probably missed.
This is so fucked up, this show. All right, let's go to the next game. We got the Jackrabbits, the defending FCS national champs on I forget how many games they've won in a row. Is it 30 now? Coming into Stillwater. Ooh, that number's below 10. That's telling you. I'm on the Jackrabbits, clearly. I think Gundy gets out of here alive. Arkansas on deck. He's going to run Ollie Gore until his tongue falls out. He's already talked about it 50 times. He's got to pay the consequences for the DUI. Gundy doesn't fuck around here and they lose, but they're going to be in a barn burner because, South Dakota State, if they were in the Big 12, they would probably finish around middle of the pack, I think.
They do. Yeah, I agree with that one for sure.
They're good, man.
Kind of as I alluded to earlier, Gronowski is a better quarterback than Alan Bowman. And pretty much everything else is going to lean in Oklahoma State's favor. But when you have one of these programs that has established their identity and the way that they want to play football, regardless of, the roster turnover from year to year, and it's the first game of the year, Man, I think, luckily Oklahoma State has enough guys that are coming back that I think they're going to be able to sneak out with a win, but I'm taking that 9.5 for sure.
I think this is going to be a game for Oklahoma State fans that they're going to wipe their brow and be like, we barely got out of that one. This is, remember South Alabama last year? Our man Bowman, he's the starting pitcher. There's no 3-man rotation going into these games as far as we know yet. This is going to be a grinder. I have Oklahoma State escaping this 24-17. Give me South Dakota State on the spread, though. And, when we all zig, Kennedy zags. He's going OK State.
Nice. I like it. He likes Gundy.
How do you not like Gundy? I mean, yeah.
All right. Shout out to the coin for going with the favorite, a rare favorite here. Let's get on over to this. This game is going to be interesting. Towson at Cincinnati. Cincy's laying 30.5. I'm going to lay it, man. I like taking teams after shitty years to beat up on somebody to take it out on what was shit last year. Give me Cincinnati, actually. I do worry about that they do have Pitt on deck. I know they should beat Pitt, but it is a high major, old rival or old Big East matchup, so a little bit of a look ahead. But I'm going to lay it. I'm going to lay it with the Bearcats. They need to come out and make a statement and run all over Towson. Troy?
Yeah, and that's kind of the angle that I'm going with as well. I think because the game plan is simply we're just going to try to out-physical them and run it down their throats. I think Cincinnati is going to be able to slowly, wear Towson down and pull away from them on the scoreboard. It's going to be close. I am going to lay it at 30.5, but this one might be the biggest sweat out of all these good games that we have. This one might be the biggest sweat on a fucking cover. I'm going to give them 2 extra points or 3 extra points for not having Emory Jones. I know I stress that all the time, but
give him 7.
That it could be at least a whole possession's worth of points at 7 for sure. Not throwing the ball to the other team in the end zone. Lay it here, but have your towels and sweat rags ready.
A theme we keep talking about with these teams, especially with these high spreads, is you said it earlier, Ryan, with which coaches are going to want to prove it. Yes, Satterfield. I think Satterfield will have no problem empty out his playbook to make a statement in this game. I think it's by a point or two that they covered the spread, like a 42-10 game, 41 like by the hook game. But I'll lay it with you guys a little. This is the one where it's a little start counting. But hey, I definitely see Satterfield doing that. Kennedy, he's laying the points too.
Over under set at 53.5, by the way. So yeah, 42-10. I like that, Rush.
There you go.
Wait, where'd you say Kennedy was going, Rush?
He's going with Cincy. He went from dogs to favorites.
He's trying to map it out, all dogs, and then just come in on some chalk at the end. All right, the Hawks of North Dakota, the Fighting Hawks, are taking on Iowa State. This number is at 28.5. This might be one I want to take a dog in, to be honest. Iowa State with some expectations. Iowa on the horizon. Give me Iowa State to win by 24. Give me North Dakota here. All the Dakotas. I'm taking all the Dakotas.
Yeah, Rush kind of alluded to the possible take the points with all the Dakotas parlay. I think that might be a pretty good move there. For the same reason that Rush just brought up, Scott Satterfield's not going to have an issue emptying his playbook because he knows his team's not threatening to do anything big. And the way that we compare, Iowa State's program to Oklahoma State and Matt Campbell and whatnot, I think they shut down the playbook. I think this is a game where they don't have anything to prove Heisman-wise. They don't have any stat padding, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever the hell you want to call it.
They're just going to try to convincingly win and, move on to get ready for Iowa. I'm taking the points, North Dakota here. And, we probably will allude to that Dakota time.
What Satterfield's going to do, pick Matt Campbell to do the opposite. This playbook is going to be 34 dive, 38 dive, 28 dive. Like just the same, just grind it out. Get out of there with a nice, at most 38-10 win. I think North Dakota is covering this spread. It's going to be a very conservative, hey, let's just run out this clock type of game plan. And Kennedy is back on the underdogs too, boys.
Another dog for Kennedy, North Dakota. All right, Troy, let's go to the glue factory. Actually, real quick, before we go to the glue factory, we got to talk about one of our proud sponsors here, and that is Rhythm. Well, if you're wondering why these picks are all going to win, well, all our models are matching up, it seems like, because get on over there, Rhythm. We all had Georgia Tech on Saturday as well. And I had Delaware State. Get him 40. Should have won the game outright. You get on over there, claim your 7-day free trial today by going over to the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. All right, we are back. Got to mark down the ads because I got to get this thing out real quick with games kicking off here. Let's go to Wacko Waco. Tarleton's at Baylor. Baylor's laying 27.5, the same spread when they lost to Texas State last year in week 1. Baylor, lay it. Baylor's not going to fuck around 2 years in a row. This is Rush's angle. Bad year, come out, make the donors happy with the little cover, pay some players with that money that you cover with.
Yeah, first game, Dave Aranda back calling defense. He's not going to want to look like shit. You bring in Jake Spavital. He's probably, I don't know about dumping the playbook completely out, but he's probably going to want to make Daquan Finn look pretty good, build some confidence. I'm going to go ahead and lay it with the glue factory here. Maybe, it's been long enough. They poured the glue into a mold and it's dried, and maybe it's solidified back into not necessarily a thoroughbred, but maybe a bit of a quarter horse this year. We're just thinking bowl game, maybe.
I'm going to Benedict my theory here. I'm going to go Tarleton plus 27.5. I think they were last week. I know they already got a week under their belt, but I think they got up on what was it, McNeese last week, and then they're like, all right, let's save some for Baylor. We've talked about it. Tarleton was going to try to do what Sam Houston, JMU's done. Jack State they're going to want an FBS here soon. Interstate game. You know what? I'm going to kind of do what I said with UCF, maybe learn from last year. I need Aranda to start proving something to me. He's broke my heart. So maybe he can glue that back together, Troy. We'll see.
You're not supposed to sniff the glue.
Yeah, that's fair. Kennedy's on Tarleton as well.
Tarleton it is. All right, the next game on the dock. This game sucks ass. Tennessee Martin's going to Manhattan. K-State's laying 36. I'm not overthinking this. K-State laying.
Yeah, this is I kind of have a split idea here because, you're trying, you got Avery that you're bringing in as a very, very hyped starting quarterback. And the same thing is you're trying to build some confidence up for him and let him use some of the playbook. But a part of me thinks that Kleiman might call off the dogs. He's got a little more respect to him than, say, a Gus Malzahn. When, we're talking sleazeball ratings, Kleiman's significantly lower. But, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the points with UT Martin.
Ooh, it's getting cute.
I'm not going to overthink this, and I flipped Kennedy. He's not overthinking it either. Even Kennedy was just like, all right, I'm not overthinking
UT Martin Island.
There you go. UT Martin Island. We'll give it to you, Troy. K-State minus 36 for the both of us.
And win by 35.
Probably.
You ready for this one? I am jacked up for this one because UNLV coming off a really good year with Odom headed into year number 2. Willie Fritz, the first game. This is kind of like TCU a little bit, my angle here. I think Houston, athlete-wise, is way better than UNLV. And I think Willie Fritz and sometimes these first-year head coaches, when they know they're not going to win a lot of games, hey, man, you kind of throw the kitchen sink out for this one win. They play with house money next week in Oklahoma. He's not saving anything for Oklahoma. I think Houston pulls away here late. I'm going to lay the 2.5. I know it's a public chalky play here with the home team laying less than a field goal, but give me Willie Fritz here to get it done in his opener. Lay it with Houston.
Yeah, give me the Willie Fritz moneymaker that he is here, getting a home game, getting a chance to, fake his way to a possible better start than what we might look back upon here after 4 or 5 weeks. But Houston kicks a field goal as time expires, wins this game by exactly 3.
I'm with you guys here. I think if this was Dana Holgerson's Houston, or I even think if these guys played each other, let's say week 3, week 2 in the non-con, it would go UNLV. Fritz wants to start the era off well in Houston. He's been a winner wherever he's been. As you guys brought up the Oklahoma game next week with house money, he wants to prove his point. Give me Houston by a touchdown. And I will say I haven't checked out the spreads on this game, like public versus,
it's public.
Houston's a public line.
Yeah, I mean
that surprises me.
They're a Big 12 team laying less than a field goal at home.
I feel like people would get cute with that game. They'd be like, that would be the one where people got cute. Kennedy's joining us. Houston -2.5.
Houston across the board. All right.
UNLV wins by 2. I mean, Houston wins by 2.
3 dudes, 1 coin doesn't seem like a cool video name, though.
3 dudes, 1 coin. Abilene Christian is going to Texas Tech. The Gambling Gauchos gave us a pretty good angle on this. There's a lot of familiarity with the staffs here. I'm going to take the points here. Give me the 33 in Abilene Christian to lose by 30.
Yeah, this is another one that I was thinking about getting cued on and will get cued on. I'm gonna take the 33. This seems like a Texas Tech team after last year's expectations and kind of falling short that they might, hold back some of the playbook in hopes that there's a few upsets later with some plays that they haven't exposed. Taking the points, ACU.
Wazoo on deck too. They're in Pullman next time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Texas Tech here. I know that they play Washington State next, as you just said, Ryan. But I'm taking the reverse angle of, there's guys on Abilene Christian that are familiar with Texas Tech, but I think Texas Tech is going to be like, hey, those guys didn't stick around, or hey, we don't need them. We're better than them. Let's prove that we're the starters for a reason and why those guys had to leave. Disappointed season last year too for Joey McGuire. I think he's going to want to make a statement, especially interstate. I'll go Texas Tech by 35.
Okay.
And Kennedy is joining me.
Guns up. Next up. All right. This game opened at 18.5. Why is this number coming down? So the Salukis are going to Provo. BYU laying 14. Maybe I'm going to take the Salukis just because I don't know what I'm getting at the quarterback position with BYU, and we know they have SMU on a short week coming up and Wyoming. I think they're ultra conservative here. I know it's kind of contradicting what I said of taking the teams off shit years, but give me no. I'm gonna lay it. I'm screw that. Go, come on, BYU. You got to cover 14 against Southern Illinois. Let's go, Cougs. Yeah,
I was gonna call you a bitch there. Sataki's gonna try to look good in this game. I'm laying it with BYU. Thinking, an extra 4 or 5 points because it's in Provo and maybe the Salukis aren't quite ready for the Super Soaker.
I feel like this is a perfectly placed spread, probably because the Sam Houston game last year in Provo was 14-0. Like this game's probably going to be this game has push written all over it. But yeah, BYU, they need some momentum, especially going into SMU. They and starting 5-2 last year and losing their last 5 games. You got to figure out something. You got to win this game by at least 17. I mean, if not 20. I'll lay the BYU here, but I'm not confident about it. Kennedy's going to do some soaking.
They better not be in a dogfight in the fourth quarter. I'm going to be so pissed.
I'm telling you, this might be a push.
All right. This game's intriguing. So everybody's falling in love with New Mexico off their week 0 triumphant effort. They gave up 600 yards of fucking offense to Montana State. They gave up 400 yards rushing. Arizona, lay it. They are going to drill New Mexico by 50, I think. Lay it. Arizona, first game in the Big 12, makes a big statement here.
Yeah, I saw New Mexico posted their uniforms, and they look pretty sweet. But besides that, I don't know how much else they have going in their favor. Looked at the box score of that New Mexico game and just started thinking, Noah Fafita's going for some fucking yards this week.
Yeah.
Laying it with Arizona hard.
This is easy.
Lock worthy.
Yeah, New Mexico, all the air's been let out of their balloon, giving up that game last week. They're going to get stomped. Body bag this game. Arizona's going to have Arizona might be up 31-0 at halftime. Kennedy even thinks so.
God, that's a tough turnaround. You blow a game and then you gotta go to freaking Tucson where
that's what I'm saying. Like, don't overthink this. This has like 63-10 all over it.
Yeah. God bless Bronco Mendenhall. They better get like 6 scooping scores this game to hang in this game. All right, the nightcap, final one. And by the way, there are a shitload of 10 o'clock games. I can't wait. Thank you, Yormark. Thank you, Big 12. Thank you, TV, for that. Wyoming's going to Tempe. Arizona State is laying 7, and I think the wrong team's favored. I think Wyoming wins the game outright. I know Arizona State needs this game. Wyoming, I think, controls the line of scrimmage, and it's off. It's a bad start to the season for Arizona State. I think they beat Mississippi State next week. Wyoming wins the game outright.
Yeah, the reason why they set this line the way they did, Ryan, is because all the other games didn't really give us an obvious straight-up dog to take. So they give you this one at the end of the day. If you stay up all day long and sweat through the night, you're going to have the opportunity to bang one. Wyoming and the points, Wyoming money line here.
Yeah, this is what you guys were saying. Like, all right, we've taken money from you all day. We'll give you a little bit back.
Keep them around
so that you give them back for a taste next.
Yeah, let them chip in on 18 for like a 104. But damn it, they're coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what this is. I think I have no problem taking Wyoming in the spread here. That part's easy. Doesn't Wyoming? Don't they have some injuries?
They are a little banged up, but man, they're healthy in the trenches though.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about. I'll take a spread here. We'll talk about our money lines here in a second. I'm just concerned about their injuries in terms of money line, but I'm also not confident at all at Arizona State. Kennedy's on Wyoming too. It's too easy.
Let's go. All righty. So that gets us into our favorite segment, the lock and dog and the round robin. Where are we at? There we go. For my lock, I think I'm going to stay in that late window. Arizona, lay the 30.5. I think that's my lock. They're going to – dude, and by the way, the week 0 trend is awful. Like, if you play week 0 compared to a team that doesn't, especially for defense that was on the field as much, Arizona lay the 30.5 lock.
I mean, I want to lock Arizona too, but I think you can also stay away from getting cute and just lock Houston. Less than a field goal at home, Big 12 team.
I like it. Let's go.
So I guess record purposes, I'll go ahead and take 2 locks starting right off the bat in week 1. Like, if you guys haven't been paying attention, we're throwing them out there for you. And I didn't want to, forget that you guys were also underdogs in terms of a straight up bet at West Virginia. But, Penn State, West Virginia seems like a game where bounces are going to matter a little bit more than Wyoming, Arizona State.
Double locks are allowed?
Yeah, let's do 2 locks just because there's 16
There's just so many games. I like it. Who's your other one, Ryan?
Great question. Oh, you know what? I'll stay in the state of Arizona. Wyoming +7.
Okay.
They ain't getting blown out, so I'm in the late window here for my locks.
So I'm joining with Arizona -30.5. That seems too easy. And then I'm going to go TCU -9 at Stanford. I like that game a lot.
Nice
too.
one.
Let me see. What if I twirl Kennedy and see if he lands funny? Because it's hard to flip for this, but my shoulder also doesn't work, so it may not work out. See where Kennedy, he's lining up with Houston. We'll say Kennedy's lock is Houston. Going to the state of Texas, Kennedy.
I like it. Get a little Coug action.
There you go.
Dog. Don't overthink this, baby. +250 on the money line. Don't contact me about 3:30 Eastern on Saturday. I will not be sober. Let's go. Cheers, beers. Let's go, Mountaineers. They get it done against Penn State. 24-21. Hell of a football game. and really kick off what's going to be a hell of a college football season. Let's go Mountaineers.
Yeah, I'm going to dog Wyoming.
I like it.
But I'm also going to play Moneyline for West Virginia as well. So I think that might be a pretty good one to put together between those two teams too.
Yeah, don't overthink this. West Virginia, I already said 24-21, and Kennedy is dogging. Listen to this. North Dakota over Iowa State. I did a little twirl. That's where he landed. So
4-hour round robin. I think we have 3 consensus plays that I think we all really like outright. What do you guys think of a parlay? I know they're favored. Houston, Wyoming, and West Virginia for our Moneyline parlay.
Yeah, I think you do that. And I think you do
and then a spread Dakota.
Yeah, you take the points with North, South, and then regular and North State, all 3 Dakotas, but with the points.
Yeah, spread Dakota. And then what's the money line? Houston, WVU,
and Wyoming.
I'm punching it in. There's so many goddamn games. Like I'm scrolling through. Keep talking.
And then okay, money line parlay is Houston, West Virginia, Wyoming. I like it. And then a Dakota spread will be all the Dakotas.
Yep. So we're on the Dakotas with the points. That'll be what? 7-1, most likely.
7-1.
Yeah, 3 on the spread.
Yep, 3. And then we have West Virginia plus 250, Wyoming plus 240, Houston minus 140 to give us 19-1, baby.
I like it.
19-1 week 1. Let's go.
Bankroll it starting right away, baby.
Oh, I like that. I feel really good about that parlay. I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go spend the money right now because I've already won it.
Great advice from Troy Chewning, everybody.
Not a financial advisor.
Was that the most we've ever agreed? 3 across the board? I feel like we agreed on 90% of the game.
So we're screwed.
We're fucked.
No, I think the one time last year that we all easily agreed we hit the 40-1.
Yes.
That was like second week, right?
Yeah, W.
Yeah, it was week 3. 33-1. All the 3s.
BYU over Arkansas. So, all right, everybody. Glad to be back. Games kick off here in the Big 12 in less than an hour. So, got to run. Got to get this out on the platforms for all you. Appreciate you rocking with us. We'll be here all year long. We'll be back Monday or Tuesday. We got to figure out the schedule to do power rankings, recap the action, and look ahead to week number 2. And then, of course, Thursday night, we will do our preview and picks all season long. Over here at the Big 12, big year for this 16-team conference, and we can't wait. Troy, real quick, any last thoughts?
Yeah, the Rutgers game has kicked off on the Big Ten Network. We've officially made it to real week 1, and the sideline reporter in the denim vest is fucking smoking hot, baby. I kept looking up in the middle. I forgot which game we were talking about. I'm just staring at the TV instead of the camera like, whoa, look at that.
Kennedy's already left the room. He's on the way.
Yeah,
he's rolling
on. He's rolling over there.
Check us out in a couple minutes. Ryan and Rush show, finishing up our West Virginia previews and predictions. So for the whole season, check us out over there and enjoy some football tonight. Thanks, guys. Love y'all.
Let's go, baby. He is at Rambling Rush. He is at Troy Chewning. I am at Moneyline_Mac. We are the Big 12 College Experience. We made it. College football is back, and we are out of here. Let's go, Mountaineers.
Report to your couch for the rest of the evening.
No problem.
After watching Ryan and Rush, of course, here in about 2 minutes.
Watch it from your couch.